Madam President Pro Tem. I'll make this one short. For years, I have been suggesting to this council to run a citywide convention. Purpose being to invite all citizens, all entities to come and participate 3 to 5 days at one of our locations down here, the concourse or any other place, so that the citizens can come in and collectively talk about and make suggestions on how to make this city America's finest once again. Discussions and ideas about the budget, about the crisis, about police, about any of the city services. We have a wealth of ideas in this city with regards to a range of issues, be it volunteers, be it trash pickup. So, in essence, I'm asking for this council to put on the docket a full discussion about running a citywide convention, inviting all of our citizens, all of the districts. There's no reason why the communications these days can't have closed circuit, can't have city TV participating, emails, etc. 3 to 5 days would be reasonable. It's time that the citizens be heard by this council. A list of suggestions could come out of that convention, of which the council could take up and pass as policy. There are things out there that don't make sense. Immigration, we're a sanctuary city. Let the citizens discuss it. So I thank you.
That concludes the public speakers on item 42. Beginning with Ted Collins, followed by Dennis Boisvert, followed by Adele Hall.
Yes, good morning again to Council President Pro Tem. I am asking that this item be put on the docket as soon as possible for a full discussion on medical marijuana. We have been remiss in this, Councilmember Emerald, as you know. We're no place on this item. Passed in 1996, Prop 15, again in 2004, but a state and a proposition. We need to have this on the docket immediately. The President of the United States has done a 180 for a third time, stating that he will not prosecute medical marijuana states. We are such. I have mentioned before, California Supreme Court, City of Riverside versus Inland Empire Patients Health. The California Supreme Court has said 2 important things in May of 2013. 2 important things, Councilmember Emerald. The first, the federal government and the federal laws against drugs do not preempt state law. Do not preempt state law. And the California Supreme Court has also said that the state legislature has it within their power to preempt the field. In other words, occupy the field of marijuana, which goes and could go much further than Prop 15 and the 2004 MMP. The state legislature could, in fact, occupy the field, meaning marijuana, medical marijuana, just like in Colorado, could in fact be legal in this state, in this city, with full regulation and fees/taxes. It's about time. You're pushing it aside for too long. Yeah, thank you.
Dennis Boisvert, followed by Adele Hall, followed by Nathan Arnold.
Good morning, Council. The reason I'm wearing this shirt is I wore it back in 2005 when I was an employee and came here to testify on behalf of medical cannabis. And from that, an assistant deputy director saw me at the meeting, and when he left, I thought he was going to cry as he walked by me. Well, it turned out that became a series of discrimination against me and being harassed by my employer, the city of San Diego, over the next 5 years since I retired. It even culminated in me going to employees' assistants who advised me to sue the city for the way I was being treated. So this has been a law since 1996, and there's been a law ignored by the legislators for whatever reason. Meanwhile, people are going to jail. And the thing that I have done now is I became a member of Human Solutions, and I'm the court supporter, coordinator. So I sit in court and I listen to these trials, and I've been to 13 of them by now. And it's insane. You'll end up with somebody being convicted with a felony record for the rest of his life, and then turning around and getting his MMP card in the probation department, allowing him to grow more marijuana than he was arrested for and got a felony for. And the reason that there is this problem is because the our legislatures, Marty Emerald and Mr. Scott Sherman and Mr. Alvarez, has completely dropped the ball and decided they want to ignore it. They want to ignore the science. Even the smoke cannabis science that came out of the University of San Diego in a study, and they choose to ignore that too. How much longer are we going to have to suffer the patients while the city ignores this issue? I recommend that this actually be docketed at some time so that we can be able to deal with it. Thank you.
Adela Falk, followed by Nathan Arnold, followed by Vivian McCardle, and Adela Falk has time seated by Deborah Little for a total of 4 minutes.
Hi, I'm Adela Falk. Most of you know me. I'll stop if y'all have something to do. I took 3 minutes of my time to come down here and speak, so I appreciate your attention. Mariano? Mariano? Okay. So while Todd Gloria is using neighborhood code compliance to raid medical marijuana patients in the city of San Diego, Bonnie Fernandez is still raiding cannabis patients. Mr. Little and Deborah Little are going to court next month for 24 medical marijuana plants in their backyard. They were raided with guns in their face. Do these look like criminals to you? The reason that people are being raided is because we have no regulations, because you all are refusing to do your job. All you have to do is docket this item today. A 23-year-old kid named Robert Orlowski, Scott Sherman, was found guilty for cultivating 10 cannabis plants in his backyard. Then he was found and being put on 3 years probation, and then he's allowed to go down to the medical marijuana ID place that right here and get his ID card. And if he follows this law, he can now cultivate 24 cannabis plants legally, but was found guilty for growing 10 and illegal for possession. So now he can possess it, he can use it, and he can grow legally. So is this what we want our tax-paying money to go towards? Because you all are not giving us regulations. Obviously, the people didn't like the other ordinance, the LUH ordinance, and they got a referendum. I didn't agree with it because I appreciated all the hard work that went into it. Yes, it was restrictive, but it did give us a zone and it gave us a spot to be. And I appreciated that, and I fought against that referendum. But people did speak, and now a new ordinance was proposed. It was even more stricter than the one that we worked so hard to pass. And you had how many people out here speaking and telling you all they wanted safer access. They didn't want harsher regulations. So can we just go back to the other ordinance? Can we just put that one up back on the docket and vote for it? I mean, David Alvarez, you were for it. Marty Emerald, you were for it. Sherry Leitner, you were for it. Kevin Faulkner, you were for it. Lori Zapp was for it. We all agree with that ordinance. We need something on the Muni Code. Do you all realize that we have a medical marijuana ordinance on the Muni Code currently that allows us hours of operations, colors for our signs, but then in that ordinance it says that we have to go and get this tax certificate, Marty Emerald, that we can't get because the zone doesn't exist? Is this boring to you all? Because this is extremely important to me.
No, I'm just trying to get the latest information so that I can...
Shouldn't we have this because it was already on the docket? Shouldn't have you already had this information? I mean, 17 years. 17 years ago, and San Diego is what, the only city that doesn't have an ordinance and can't come together and get an ordinance? And it's really hard to sit here and watch people speak and have you all reading, or you did this, you looked at him when this gentleman was speaking, and you went, and you went. And then David Alvarez laughed like it's a joke. We voted for you because we thought you represented us. And we want you to give us the respect that you expect us to give you. When we see you, want us to be courteous. We want the same from you. We are not criminals. We are patients. Does this look like a criminal to you? 24 medical marijuana plants. She's going to be a felon? She can go to jail for this? Is this what you all had in mind? Stop Bonnie Dunanis from raiding legitimate medical marijuana patients. give us regulations, give us an ordinance that we can come into compliance. Please, I am begging you like I begged you years ago and it's on a Friday, put it on the docket for me. Please docket it today. Please don't file it in this little magical file that nobody knows what it is. We care about this and we hope you all do too.
Nathan Arnold, followed by Nathan McCardle, followed by Tamara Ellison, followed by